Hi guys, welcome to the RedFlex. Again, we've got another special guest on today, and we've got our special guest who comes from a award-winning fan channel. Yeah, I mean, it's true. It's an award-winning fan channel. I think they were founded in 2018, and since then they've gone on from strength to strength. So we welcome today, Dan, to the RedFlex. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. Not really looking forward to the game, but outside of football, I'm good, thanks.
In these tough times, I think for us, this is like the only thing that we actually look forward to. There's nothing to do.
Yeah, it was. I mean, if you'd asked me 2 or 3 weeks ago after beating Liverpool, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, lockdown's fine."
Yeah.
And it's kind
You're
of
feeling it more now.
yeah, I know. I mean, we've got an FA Cup run to look forward to. That's about it right now.
Yeah, I mean, so we're going to get some fascinating views from the kind of Southampton end of things, and then also we are joined today by Cass, who is the resident global fan cam, the kind of face of the fan cam on the RedFlex, and he again is going to share some interesting views about our upcoming game against Southampton. So let's get straight into it. So I know Southampton have kind of got an injury crisis from when I was actually looking into who's fit for Southampton at the moment. I've got a list here. You've got at least eight. I think eight of your players are actually doubts, I think, or there's 5 confirmed injured. You've got Walker Peters injured, Vestergaard, Salisu, Teller, and doubts of Walcott, Diallo, and Ariel Romeo. So you've got pretty much a lot of first teamers out at the moment. And we were just talking off air as well. And you've not had a good kind of window because you actually need to sign some players with all these injuries that you've had as well. I mean, what's your view on what's just happened with the transfer window then?
I mean, to be honest, no one had any hope. Like we were told at the beginning of the window, it's going to be a case of probably not bringing anyone in. I mean, it's a hard one to think. It depends how you look at it, because on one side, you know, COVID's cost us a lot of money, as with any club. And at the same time, you know, we've got an owner who's not really injecting any money into the football club. It's kind of what we make is what we spend. And obviously we're not making much at the moment. We've actually lost, I think, in the last year, £70 million because of COVID. You know, that's astronomical. So there wasn't any optimism in terms of bringing players in. But then suddenly a couple of days ago, linked with Maitland-Niles off of Arsenal for a loan deal.
Willock as well, I think you were linked to it, yeah.
Willock, I think that was a one-off. I didn't believe that one, but Maitland-Niles was the main one. And then this morning, loads of, you know, Josh King's Shane Long swap deal, Billy Gilmore on loan off Chelsea, Japhet Tanganga. And none of these are coming in now. Maitland-Niles was the main one we needed for his versatility at fullback, because we've sent off our young backup left back Jake Vokins up to Sunderland, and now we've basically got one left back, you know, and 2 right backs, one of which just isn't good enough for the Premier League at backup. So yeah, it's not great at the moment. Obviously, with the injuries like you mentioned, we have to rely on academy players now for cover.
I mean, as unfortunate as that is for Southampton, I think we should be looking forward to playing you. I think this is a great time to play. I think you've not won in the last 3 games. Is that right? And you've not scored in the last 2 away games, something like that. So on paper, you would think this is an opportune time. What's your view, Qasim, on the actual timing of the fixture? Do you think it's a good time to face them?
I think Dan will probably be pleased to hear this, but I think we're coming off 2 of our probably worst results in the season. I think
worst performances
probably as well. The game itself, I think Southampton have caused us a lot of problems recently, especially the game just before the restart, or it was just after the restart. High press, Maguire, Lindelof didn't like it. That's what I'm fully expecting tomorrow as well. But I think Southampton have played well. They've gone a little bit down the table. Dan, I'm sure you can tell me a little bit more. Obviously, you got that win against Liverpool. And since then, the last 2 games obviously disappointing. But what's your kind of views on the season so far, Dan, in terms of Are you seeing progression? Are the fans happy?
On the season as a whole, it's been fantastic. It's only been this past month really where we've had our first major blip. Fans were delighted. I would say, yeah, come the end of the year, maybe just before New Year's, the fans were delighted. We were knocking on the door of Europe, scoring goals, defending well. I think when we had our first choice 11 fit, that's exactly when we were sort of high flying. We rarely start well in the Premier League, and it was kind of a rarity. So, of course, you want to be watching this football in person, but it kind of, we're talking about football in lockdown. It kind of gives you a bit of a boost. It definitely gave us all a boost with everything that's going on right now. So, it's been a shame the past month in terms of league results, not scoring goals, a little bit sloppy at the back at times. But all in all, we haven't played that badly. I just think injuries have caught up with us, to be fair.
James Ward-Prowse, bloody hell, he can hit a free kick, can't they?
Yeah. Goal seems to be against Man United as well.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's. I don't know if you saw the stat, but when basically Jan Bednarek has scored 3 goals for the club now, and each of them have been in 3-2 defeats where we've gone 2-0 up. So we all knew it was coming at St Mary's back in November. But yeah, for the free kick, I mean, probably not one of his better ones, in fairness to him.
That guy, honestly. I mean, on that note, on free kick, I think it's another stat kind of going around that in this fixture, Man United versus Southampton, there's been the joint most free kick goals in this fixture in the Premier League as well. So it's Man United Southampton and Man United Liverpool that have had the most goals from a free kick. So
Ward-Prowse will be fit for this one.
Exactly, so. So he's probably one of the only first teamers fit as well.
Are you sure you've not got him on the injury list?
Yeah, I know. He will at some rate. Jesus.
So I mean, just in regards to kind of our view of Southampton, I mean, I think just as Qasim said as well, I mean, we seem to think that they are, someone to play that high press, and we don't seem to like that high press game. So although you've got a lot of players out, I still think it's going to be a close game. Dan, what's your view on? Are you expecting a win at Old Trafford?
No, I'm not. I'd be completely naive to be expecting a win tomorrow night. I'm expecting a decent enough performance. I'm expecting maybe we nick a point. I don't think we'll get battered though. No chance. I think we will be in it. It's just a case of who starts really, and how well United play. Because if you look at the last game against Villa, we were great. I thought, you know, we definitely deserved something from that. And, victim
very
to the
unlucky,
officials.
wasn't it? Yeah.
Well, it's funny now that Mike Dean is the on-field official and Lee Mason's on VAR tomorrow night. So you can't write it really. But yeah, no, based on that performance, I'd like to think that we put a shift in and, float with the idea of maybe taking something away from Old Trafford tomorrow night.
Yeah, because I think Southampton do have a very good record. I think in the last 7 games, they've only lost, I think, twice at Old Trafford, and they've done well at Old Trafford.
Yeah,
we always seem to find it very difficult.
Yeah, and that's why I'm thinking a point isn't out of our grasp here.
What's your view, Qasim, then? Is it fair to say that as Man United, we're second in the table, we're facing Southampton, who are currently 11th in the table, I think. Should we be expecting a comfortable win here?
No, absolutely not. We're not expecting no comfortable wins as of right now. Our strikers, they'll be playing for that game. Could still be carrying on at the Emirates, and we still wouldn't have scored. So it's a massive concern. No disrespect, Man United versus Southampton. I think, Dan, you'll probably admit it's a game that you'd expect Man United to win. However, I think the problems that we have up front, I think the momentum kind of switched for us a little bit since that Sheffield United game, definitely. So if there's any kind of games that we're going to struggle, it's going to be these kind of games. Southampton, Everton, West Ham, 3 home games. So I think it's going to be a very tough game. I think every game that I remember Southampton coming to Old Trafford recently, they've pressed us high. We don't like it. And we keep giving the ball away. And then if you keep giving it away, they've got certain Danny Ings, lethal Premier League finisher. I think he'll actually do all right at Old Trafford. I know Dan probably don't want to hear that, but I think it'll be a decent little acquisition. So yeah, I think it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, I mean, just on that note on Danny Ings, he's having an absolutely fantastic season. He has expressed, I believe, a desire to leave Southampton. What's the kind of view of the Southampton fans that, I mean, he's expressed a desire to play in the Champions League? Is that something that you think, okay, that's fair enough, it's a short career, or are you thinking he needs to give us maybe one more season?
It's a real hard one to call, because he kind of came to Southampton having that shot at Champions League football, and I don't think it's fair to say he blew it because he was on the sidelines for so long. But you know, he has
injured, wasn't he, most of the time?
And I can understand in the sense of, you know, maybe having another go now that he's kind of cracked the recovery process. Let's say maybe he's not having as many issues with injuries, but it's his boyhood club. He's scoring Premier League goals. Saints could still finish high in the table. I think it all depends on where we finish. I think if we don't get Europe, which at the moment is looking unlikely, then it's another conversation. But I think from what I've heard, what I've read, the contract's on the table. It's not an issue of money. It's just a case of when he'll sign it. But to be fair, it sounds like he's being very cooperative. And there probably is a chance that he'll sign it, to be honest. I'm 50-50 at the moment with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, he's going to be our danger man. I think he's just kind of that type of player that Harry Maguire is going to absolutely hate playing against. What's your view, Qasim, on Danny Ings versus Harry Maguire?
I'm a little bit nervous, if I have to be completely honest. Our defense, to be fair, our defense has not been that bad. It's been more the fact that we've had just moments of madness. So like 1 minute we'll be playing football and you think, yep, this is title winning football. We're going right to the top. And then I'll see, you could even literally the next 5 minutes, you could see them start and you think, we're in a lot of trouble right now. We've got our backs against the wall. So like I said before, I think Southampton are going to cause us big problems. I'm just interested, Dan, what are kind of your thoughts on United from a Southampton perspective? I know obviously you might not follow them as much, but just kind of your feeling of how we're doing.
No, to be fair, I've watched a lot of Man United this season, especially in the Champions League. Obviously, that didn't go to plan, but I don't think they'll win the title. I think title contenders. I think it's fair to say that based on where they are on the table, you can't say they're not. But I do feel like you just feel with
something's
United
missing, right?
Yeah, something's
Dan,
missing.
Dan, we didn't agree that you were going to come on and start saying this kind of stuff. Come on, Dan.
Yeah, well, you should have asked the question then. Yeah, I think I think they'll be top 4 come end of the season. I'm pretty confident about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think we finished top 4 based on our current form. I think we'll be okay with that. But I mean, at one point we were down in the depths as well, like Southampton are currently. But I think Southampton, are in a false position. I do think they'll finish in the top 8. I think they've got good manager, good style of play. I think they'll do well. But it's going to be after the Man United game, maybe when the form starts to pick up.
I think it all comes down to Yannick Vestergaard's return. In all honesty, he's been a key absence. Yeah,
I mean, I think especially against United in the last game on corner kicks, he was causing us all sorts of problems as well. So I mean, yeah, let's see how that goes. Let's hope he's not fit. I mean, is he fit? Is he injured?
No,
is he a doubt? No.
I think he's coming back to training this week. That's what we've heard. So hopefully our weekend game against Newcastle, if not next week's cup tie at Wolves, is what I'm hoping for, but no chance for this one.
Right, that's probably good news for us, because I mean, I think he's dominant in the air as well. I think at the back, I think he's a great defender, in my opinion. So I mean, just in regards to how you see the match actually playing out, then Qasim, I know we've talked about the high press for Southampton. I know we've also talked about that Man United don't like to play against teams with a high press. How do you see the game panning out?
I think I think Southampton going to come out. They're going to come out motivated, and they're going to come out and they're going to cause us pressure. But I think as the game goes on, it'll be kind of the same pattern where we'll most likely have the majority of the ball, and I'll fully expect Southampton to, spring counter attacks, maybe through the likes of Redmond. I know that he's not been playing as often as he previously was. I'm sure Dan can tell us a little bit more about that. But I think the game will be similar, of where we will try to do the attacking, and then Southampton will be looking for the first goal.
Yeah, I mean, I think most would expect that to happen. Just in terms of stats as well. I mean, I've done quite a bit of research on this game. With Southampton, I think they are I think ranked number 2 for in the league for scoring the first goal in a game. So I think they've scored the first goal in a game 12 times this season, just below Man City. So Southampton always get off to a good start. Man United, on the other hand, do not get off to a good start, and we seem to kind of want to go 1 goal behind and then start to play football. So Dan, how do you see the game padded out?
To be fair, I can see a pretty similar game to the one at Old Trafford in July. We don't go into this one in as good form as we were at the time. But I can see, I think the early goal, definitely, I could see something like that happening. I remember Armstrong getting one in the first sort of 10, 15 minutes back in July. Whether we'll come away with a point is another one, but we haven't been scoring it of late. So it's tricky for me to think that we're going to go up to Old Trafford and score 2 goals in this one. But I think we'll start well. I think we'll battle. It's just whether lapses of concentration, or maybe a bit don't get as much luck, or just a lack of quality in the final thirds. I think that's what might, hold us back.
So, I mean, I know Hasselhuthen likes to play that high press. Do you expect him to start like that in the game?
Yeah, 100 throughout the game, to be fair, unless it gets to a point where United are scoring for fun. I don't think it will get to that point, but Ralph doesn't shy away from his identity, whether it's Newcastle or Man United. We'll be playing with that high press.
And just on that note, Qasim, with that high press, with our kind of forwards that we've got, although they're out of form, they are still quick. They can still run, but they can't pass or shoot at the moment. They can still run. Yeah, so they might cause some issues. Yeah. Do you see that being as an advantage to us, that high press, or do you think it's not?
Yeah, I mean, I think probably the best example you could use is look at Leeds. They're not as, I wouldn't say Southampton as gung-ho as Leeds. I'd say Southampton a little bit more, it's a little bit more thought that goes into it. But definitely, I think the whole Premier League knows if you leave space behind your defence, then Man United can cause you huge, huge problems. They say, we have one of the best counter-attacks in the world. Whether or not that's true, I'm not fully sure. But what I am aware that obviously the likes of Rashford, Martial, Greenwood, they want to try and get in behind you, and that's where we can hurt you. But it all depends on, I think it all depends on the first goal tomorrow. I think if Southampton get that first goal, then it could be a long, long night. A good night for Dan, but a very long, long night for us here and the RedFlex over here.
Sleepless night. Again, probably
sleepless nights, for sure. What I actually just wanted to ask Dan as well. What's your view on Anthony Martial? I'm just interested because obviously within United,
he's awful.
It's much divided.
I've got my housemate is a United fan, and I get all this like anti-Martial propaganda in my ear. So no to Martial, unfortunately.
So if he was offered to you guys on loan, just for the deadline, I know it's just passed. If he was offered to you, then would you take him?
At the moment, we're screwed. So probably. But we don't really need a striker. If he can play right back, then bring him over.
Fantastic. Okay, so just in regards to the actual match itself, I know you've got quite a lot of your first team injured. Who do you feel is your kind of, I think I know what your answer is going to be. Who do you think is going to be your key player, and who do you think is the key player for Man United in tomorrow's game?
Well, tomorrow for United, I think Fernandes, you can't look away from him. I think Pogba's been doing well actually recently. Yeah. I've enjoyed his performances when I've been watching United. I like McTominay as well. I think he's a decent player. I think he'll do have a good career, go on and do good things. But for us, it depends how much we put the ball forwards. Really, I think with Theo Walcott out, we're going to see Stuart Armstrong back on the right hand side, which is his natural position, and he's just so much more efficient. I think he's going to have a good game. Obviously, Ings give the ball to him in a decent position, and he will put the ball in the back of the net. He's been a bit of a weird one recently because he's got that goal against Liverpool, but then he got COVID and he's come back and he just doesn't look as sharp. Should have had a goal on Saturday, but obviously that was ruled out. So we'll see how he plays. But James Ward-Prowse every game has been the one, I think, for Saints fans that we look out for.
Set pieces, unbelievable.
We're one of the best teams in terms of scoring from set pieces this year. And it's not just that, it's his midfield presence. He doesn't shy away from a challenge. He's become a much more of a kind of box-to-box midfielder. One of the fittest players in the league in terms of ground he covers. I think he covered the most ground out of any player in the league last season, which kind of emphasises it.
Yeah.
And how much Ralph has sort of developed his game. So for me, this season, it's kind of been a case of, look at what Prowse is doing. Because if he's playing well, then we'll probably go on and get something.
And just then, in terms of Man United, who so I know you said Bruno Fernandes. Is there anyone else who you fear?
Yeah, I mean, I look at the midfields. Like I said, Pogba. Obviously Rashford. I think he's been having a good season. And then I don't know what it is because obviously he's kind of dipped in previous seasons. But every time I see David De Gea, I just think, best goalkeeper in the world because I just I think back to when he was on his way to Real Madrid and I just think of his team of the season card and ultimate team and all that, and obviously this was 4 years ago, but I still think he's a cracking goalkeeper, and I think it's always hard for us to score against him.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, I think there's quite a lot of United fans who don't seem to rate him anymore. I mean, I'm not in that camp. I still think he's world class in my opinion. So I'm going to ask you the same question, Qasim. Who do you think are the key players for Southampton? And who do you think the key player is going to be for Man United in tomorrow's fixture?
I think with Southampton, without watching them too much, straight away that two of the best players, James Ward-Prowse, Danny Ings, I think if you keep both of them quiet, I'd be pretty confident if I put my Man United, hat on, which I will. I'll be pretty confident that we'll get the 3 points. And, I need to remind everybody that this game, it is a massive, massive game tomorrow because the knives will be out. Ole will be under immense pressure if we don't get these 3 points. And I know, and Dan can confirm this, that it's not going to be easy tomorrow. We're going to have to earn and fight for every point that we get.
It's going to be a dogfight, I think.
If we do get 3 points, it's a good sign because Southampton are a good team. And if we get the win tomorrow, then we can hopefully get this faint title charge back in gear.
Yeah, so Qasim, just in regards to who you think our key player is going to be.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear. I'm a big Bruno Fernandes admirer, and
although he's been out of form in the last couple of games, don't you think?
It's all nonsense. It's all nonsense. At the end of the day, look at his stats. He's been here for a year. The amount of goals and the amount of assists he scores is unreal. No one has come to the Premier League and done what Bruno Fernandes has done. He's an unbelievable player. And how can you... let's just put it this way. That guy has enough credit in the bank to not score another goal or assist all season. And even then, his stats will be unreal. So that's the kind of output that he's actually been putting in.
Yeah, I mean, I think all with football fans, I think we're all very fickle. We've got short memories. If someone puts in a few bad performances, the fans will be on their back. And I think that's just how it is, unfortunately, in the game of football. And obviously that's also resulting in a lot of hate messages, a lot of kind of racial abuse on social media as well, which is absolutely disgusting. And I'm sure you will also echo that, Dan.
Yeah, there's no room for it.
Yeah, absolutely not. So, I mean, just the kind of final segment then, in regards to what we feel the score is going to be. I think we've kind of gone through it, but let's kind of officially say what we think our final score is going to be. And yeah, I mean, let's see. And if possible, who you think is going to score. And then after that, we can go straight to the bookies and make a bet, I guess. Right. So let's start off with you, Dan. You don't seem very confident.
Head says 2-1 United. Heart says 1-1 draw. So I'll stick with the 1-1 draw, and I think Armstrong will score for us.
Armstrong, okay. And over you, Qasim.
Yeah, I think Dan's initial predictions is the one that I'm going to go with. I think it's going to be 2-1, and this is more hope rather than I think this is going to come out. But I'm thinking it could be the game Martial get some goals.
Yeah, I mean, I think this will always it's always going to be a really tight game, really tense game, due to the different styles of play. I think obviously we've mentioned that Southampton are going to play the high press, and Dan also believes they will start like that as well. And I think Man United also know Southampton will start like that as well. So it will be an issue at the start. I mean, it may be the case that ball over the top's on early on, whilst Southampton are trying to go with the high press. So in my opinion, I think it's going to be a really tight game. So I think there'll only be one goal in it. It's either going to, for me, it's going to be a 2-1 or a 1-0 for me. I see United winning, although we're not in good form at home, especially. And Southampton do have a very good record at Old Trafford in the last 7 games. So, but I still think that Man United do have enough in the tank to beat Southampton, who are not at full strength. That's the only reason why I think I'm more confident, even though we're not in form, that I think United are going to win this game.
Just before we finish,
yeah,
I've got one to ask. I want to ask Dan something actually. Not even ask him. I know you guys are on YouTube. You guys are on Instagram. Obviously, I'll let you share those details with everyone.
You also have a website as well. Yeah.
But obviously, love to know what's the story behind it. How did it start? You know, what were you thinking? Nice one to share with everyone.
Yeah. So I'm 19 now. I do sport journalism. It was kind of when I was 17. Well, I think I was 16. Jesus, it's a while ago now. It was what I wanted to pursue, and it kind of felt like the best opportunity to kind of get a portfolio out there.
Yeah.
You know, there was a niche as well, in the sense that there was something more 1 or 2 other Saints channels, not really representing sort of the younger demographic, I would say. I just felt there was an opportunity there and kind of went with it. And yeah, you know, there have been struggles. There have been obviously highs and lows, as you'd imagine, but you know, I never regret doing it. No chance.
Yeah, just on that note as well, I mean, on your website, this saintsview.com, I've also seen that you've won a bronze award for content creator. I mean, how did that come about?
Yeah, I mean, so after 8, 9, 10 months of at the end of our first season, we got invited over to the Etihad for the football content or football blogging awards, as it was then.
Yeah.
Which was obviously pre-COVID. This was sort of May 2019. So yeah, that was a great night. It's basically, I mean, we were just there as guests, no nomination or whatever. But it was really cool to kind of get a bit of inspiration from other, you know, football creators, and kind of see how big the fact that it's an industry really now. You know, the likes of your Arsenal Fan TV lot, Mark Goldbridge, like those sorts of well-known people in the industry, I guess, all there, and, you know, approachable guys. And then, I think because we made that relationship the year before, when it came around to nominations again, I think we were definitely in the good books. I don't know. I think it was half fan votes, half judges. So obviously we had enough fan votes to get onto a short list. And I would have wanted to win the whole thing. They changed the format, so you know, if it had been the year before, we wouldn't have got anything for being third place. But at the same time, you know, looking back at it, new content creator to come away with an award, it was great. I mean,
unbelievable,
given how good the event was at the Etihad, and the fact that it was planned to be at Spurs' ground pre-pandemic, you can't help but think what a night it would have been. But I guess that's it. And we just take it as a take it on the chin. Really, I just think now try and get second or first next time.
Absolutely, and just in terms of your plans for the future, are you what have you got in mind for the Saints view?
I mean, I want us to be recognised as the best Southampton fan channel out there. Some may say we are because we're
this is why you're on the RedFlex, Dan. This is
why.
first step.
I think
we believe you're the best.
Yeah, and I think
you've been handpicked, Dan. You've been handpicked by the gods above. You've been handpicked.
Well, I appreciate that, and I think definitely a niche bracket there. So, I mean, we're starting to see it. You know, starting to get more channels ask us to do these sorts of previews and that, which is obviously massive for us because not only does it help other people out, it helps us out. You know, we get a bit more attention, and so that's kind of. I just want to keep working to it. At the end of the day, it's a hobby. You know, I've never seen it as, you know, a money-making scheme or, you know, an opportunity to, I don't know, rant about the club or whatever. It's a hobby at the end of the day. And if it gives a platform for other Saints fans to contribute a bit of content as well, then so be it. That's obviously a positive. It's nothing in terms of we're going to take it global or anything. It's just a hobby.
I mean, I think with that in mind, you've done really, really well. I mean, I have to congratulate you for what you've done so far. I think it's a great channel that you've got there.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's great. I mean, thanks for coming on, Dan. I know it was kind of short notice. I think we only got in touch with you a few days ago.
Games. It's like what Social said. It's like NBA right now. It's mad.
So many games, isn't there? Yeah. Literally non-stop football at the moment. So, I mean, in the future, in the next United game, we do hope that you would like to come on again.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got to stay up first, but yeah.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you'll stay up.
Yeah.
Qasim, is there anything else that you would like to ask Dan?
When's the next player that you're going to sell to Liverpool? Or you're going to sell to
you seem to be the feeder club for Liverpool.
Prowsey, probably. Or Vestergaard. No, I'll say Vestergaard. I think Vestergaard.
Yeah, I'm surprised that it take him off your hands already.
Liverpool need defenders as well, don't they?
He's injured. That's why. Yeah, I don't know, but I think Vestergaard will be off.
I know we've signed so many players from you. Liverpool signed so many players from you. It's unbelievable, isn't it? And you still seem to be at that level as well. You're not dropped. So that's amazing. I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, we had one season, or arguably two, where we came really close to relegation. And I think it did catch up with us then. But I think since Ralph's come in, the attitude's changed. Definitely, we've got more academy products coming through, bit better recruitment, getting some bargains. I think if you look at our team, Armstrong for 7 million, Walker Peters for 12.
Yeah.
If you look back on Bertrand being a 10 million pound signing 6-7 years ago. Yeah, we've got some even Ings for 20 now. I think that's a bargain.
It is a bargain, yeah, absolutely. I have to thank your football club for Luke Shaw as well.
Yeah,
at the moment, he's on fire
right now.
Yeah, on fire at the moment.
You know, he's one of the ones, or he's one of the few that didn't leave in bad regards. You know, I always like to see him do well.
Yeah, I mean, I think this season has been great. Even towards the end of last season, he was great. I mean, when you see so many ex-Southampton players how doing well, how does that make you feel?
I mean, it must
be a weird one, right?
It's a waste of time getting upset about it because, you know, when they become world beaters, they're not going to be playing for Southampton. You know, you see that graphic of our team in 2014 with all these players. It does, you know, it's a waste of time really sulking about it. It's kind of part and parcel with since we've been back in the Premier League, you know. It's a tough one. Like, it depends how they've left. I think your Mane's, your Luke Shaw's, that's about it really. They kind of left in good regards, and so it's nice to see them do well. But then there are others where you just kind of hope that they might, I don't know, miss an open goal or you know, miss a strike if it's Van Dijk, you know, miss kick. But no, in all seriousness, it's a mixed one. It is strange.
Did you think that Van Dijk was going to end up being so good?
Yeah, without a doubt. I remember when when he first came in, he had a few tricky games. I remember against United, actually. I think the first ever time I watched him play in the flesh was when Martial had just come to United and we lost 3-2 at St Mary's, and I thought, like, really, like, I just kind of thought, going to take a bit of time to settle in. That first half of the season really was quite poor, and then when we went on such a strong run and pushed for sixth, that's when I was just like, yeah, this guy's different class. And then the following season, you know, it's goals against like Inter Milan and clean sheets here, that left, right, and centre in the Premier League. I just thought, yeah, no, he'll be off next season.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's like by far the best defender in the world, without a shadow of a doubt.
It's his versatility.
Absolutely amazing. Yeah,
he can. You know, he was one of our better forward players, let alone defenders. You know, and yeah, I'm shocked that no one took him off Celtic's hands before we did. Because you look at some of the goals he scored for them, and you know, we're talking 30-yard, 35-yard free kicks. It's just a joke.
It's unreal, isn't it? I think it was in the news recently as well that we had a choice between Lindelof and Van Dijk.
Yeah,
apparently I went for Lindelof. What went wrong there?
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, I think we might have got that one wrong.
Yeah, another one that slipped out of our hands. He would have been unbelievable for us. Anyway, let's not talk about him too much. Plays for the enemy. So Dan, it's been wonderful that you've actually agreed to come on. We've enjoyed your company today. Hopefully we can do this again in the future. So this has been the RedFlex, the only channel in the world, guys, which is run by 4 brothers who all support Manchester United. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. We are also on Twitter. We are also on Periscope Live, and we are on Twitch as well. So please like, share, and subscribe. So thank you for watching this match preview. We shall see you soon for our match reaction. Thank you for watching, guys. See ya.